Hare Krishna, and thank you very much for once again um, giving me an opportunity to serve all of you at ISKCON Scarborough. To be able to share some understandings of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness is a great fortune in this human form of life. Typically, the desire to be able to, or the desire to share understandings and experiences in life is the inclination of an average human. However, philosophy always tries to help us dovetail all the opportunities that we have in the human form such that we can have a progressive life. Hence, a philosophy in life is important. And we could say that it is amongst humans that the philosophy of life or certain values in life could go beyond the bodily needs of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So when the tongue is used to speak about or to explain or to share one's understanding of philosophy, and specifically the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, then the heart naturally fills up with gratitude. It is a very precious moment to have this, to have an opportunity to be able to do that. And hence, I'm indeed grateful to the management of ISKCON Scarborough and to all the devotees for letting me have this wonderful opportunity where the tongue can be dovetailed, or the inclination of the tongue to speak can be dovetailed by describing the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. According to the Vaishnava calendar, specifically the Gaudiya Vaishnava calendar, the fortnight in which we are presently in is the waxing phase of the moon in the month of Padmanabh. According to the traditional Hindu calendars, this is also called as the month of Ashwin. And during the Shukla Paksh, which is the waxing, the fortnight of the waxing moon, there is an opportunity to remember the pastimes of the Supreme Lord Sri Ramachandra. On Shukla Dashmi, which is also called as Vijaya Shukla Dashmi or Ashwin Shukla Dashmi, it is also called as Vijaya Dashmi. Every year we celebrate the victory of Lord Ramchandra, where he overcome so many challenges um, in the process of reunification with Mother Sita. And today is the day when the biggest hurdle that was preventing the reunification of Mother Sita with Lord Ram was removed. Sorry, not today, but on the day of Vijayadashmi, the biggest hurdle was removed in the form of the king of Lanka, Ravana. The time before, or the 9 days before the festival of Rama Vijayotsav, the festival of the victory of Lord Ramachandra. The 9 days are celebrated by the followers of the Vedas as the days of austerities for the energy of the Lord. So typically in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, we'll find that these days are very much dedicated to the worship of Mother Lakshmi. So right from Ashwin Pratipada to Ashwin Navami, from the first day of, Ashwin Pratipada, Ashwin Shukla Pratipada to Ashwin Shukla Navami is dedicated to the worship of Mother Lakshmi. And Sita Devi is the very embodiment of the goddess of fortune. And on the 10th day of the Shukla Paksh in the month of Ashwin, the month of Padmanabh, we celebrate Ram Vijayotsav. So it's a day of jubilation, it's a day of joy, Vijayadashmi. To most of us, Lord Ramachandra does not need much introduction. However, the pastimes of the Lord and the pastimes of the Lord's devotee, those that have been revealed, the revealed pastimes of the Lord and the pastimes of the Lord's devotee, or the activities of the Lord's devotee in those revealed pastimes, serve as examples, as inspiration to practitioners of various generations of devotees who are practicing, or various generations of practicing devotees of the past, the present, and of the future, all get a lot of inspiration from the descriptions of these revealed pastimes, the Prakata Leela of the Lord. It is stated that in the mundane world, which we sometimes call as the material world, there is this very enamoring quality, a quality that everyone is very much enamored by, or an expression of one's abilities, which catches almost every person's attention in this modern world, in this material world. And this expression is encapsulated in the word called as talent. So everyone, if you look around us in this modern day or the modern times, we see this word talent being it's very prevalent in today's society. It was prevalent previously also. However, since we exist in the present day society, we find that there's so much discussion on talent, and there's so much um, um, seeking of talent. So this world is a world where there is a lot of interest uh, in the talent or in the talents of person or persons around us. In fact, not just around us, but also in our own talents. And there is also this overpowering need to be able to have the facility to display the talents that one has, or to be able to seek out other people, other talented people, through the display of their prowess or their abilities. So there are talent shows, talent search, talent this, talent that. And this is many times a person's talent defines the person's character or personality to a great extent. No wonder whatever abilities are considered to be very much acceptable are the zones in which, or are the areas in which a person wants to hone one's talent, or a person wants to develop one's talent, or a person wants to be talented in those areas. Now, talent can reflect someone's personality or character, or talent can also be a covering for someone's demeanor. It can cover up someone's personality or character. So for those who are beyond dualities, if there is a person, or if there is an existence that is beyond duality, when I say beyond duality, it means an existence where everything is crystal clear. It is an existence where truth prevails. So in that space, along with talent, one's character is also important. As I said, in this world, talent could be an expression of one's character, or it could be used to hide one's inner motives. A talented person could very easily hide one's ulterior motives too. For example, in diplomacy, this is considered to be a great talent, where one makes it very difficult for anybody to read one's mind or what one's motives are. So that is diplomacy. So diplomacy is a tool very much needed in this world where everyone is trying to compete with everyone else. However, in the realm of truth, where just truth prevails, diplomacy is an obsolete tool. It is not really needed. Because the truth does not have many shades. So one can be very straightforward, one can be very honest. Hence, there is a saying in this world which states that people are interested people are impressed by talent, whereas the Supreme Lord is impressed by character. And in Lord Ramchandra's case, we know that he raised an entire army of Vanaras and Rikshas and when they were facing the advanced or technically advanced army of Ravana, they did not even have proper weapons to fight them with. All they fought them with was whatever weapons they could lay their hands on, or whatever they could use to fight. Whatever tools, whatever was available, they could use to fight with. Still, Lord Ramachandra was appreciative of the fact that the entire monkey army, the entire army of the Vanaras, had accompanied him to Lanka. And the folklore, the story of how Lord Ramchandra was equally grateful to the little spider and to that was trying to carry small pebbles to build the bridge, as much as being grateful to the mighty Vanaras who were bringing huge boulders and mountain peaks to build the bridge over the ocean. So God, or the Supreme Lord, is impressed by character. One of the ways a person's character is understood is by the use of the ability to speak, what one speaks about. Another way to understand how deep-rooted or how deep are the roots of one's character is when we have stormy situations in life. You see, character can be easily expressed. The right behavior can be easily expressed when the sun is shining bright. However, it is only during the storms, when there are challenges, when there is seeming darkness around us, that the roots of our character get displayed. Whether our roots are deep enough to withhold, to face, to bear the brunt of the storm, or they are weak, that we fall over, we give in to the challenges. The Ramayana is full of personalities that exhibit the right behavior, or they exhibit characters that can be, or characteristics that can be emulated. They are characters that which can be very inspirational, their personal character. And there's also those personalities whose qualities, whose characters can be clearly seen to be just the opposite. So it's very black and white. The pastimes of Lord Ramachandra are very, very black and white. You can easily choose who could be our inspiration, in whose footsteps we follow, or those that we would not want to emulate. For example, we would like to follow in the footsteps of Mother Kaushalya or Mother Sumitra and try to avoid the weaknesses shown by Manthara, the associate of Kaikai, Queen Kaikai. Today, I'm going to speak of a very moving pastime which is described in the Ramayana and by which has been elaborated on by various commentators of the Ramayana. The reason for me to speak on the prasanga or the pastime is because it reveals the character of the devotee, the person who is the central figure of this pastime. Since it is a Ramayana, the central figure obviously would be Lord Ramachandra and a particular devotee, or it would be Mother Sita and a particular devotee, somebody who's offering services to Lord Ram or to Mother Sita. So also it helps us to be motivated or to find motivation. The description today might help us to find motivation to seek or to find strength to reach to higher levels or higher realms of spiritual realization. Higher realms of realization that can be achieved with a little endeavor, a little more endeavor than what we may be doing today. Most of us are endeavoring very sincerely to remember Krishna, to serve Krishna. However, since Krishna and service to Krishna is always dynamic, there's the opportunity to raise our standards a little more high, to go that extra mile, to just reach out to find much more elaborate ways to remember Krishna and to serve Krishna, to remember Lord Ramachandra and to serve Lord Ramachandra. So this pastime might help us do that. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, when the talks between Vidura and Maitreya Muni are going on, and this is being described by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit and to his audience on the banks of the river Ganga. At one point of time, Shukdev Maharaj describes the character of a little boy who's just 6 years old. He is a prince by birth. His father is King Uttanpad. His father's elder brother had been King Priyavrat, who had taken sannyas or who had accepted the renounced order, not the renounced order, but who had become renounced from his kingly duties and handed over the kingdom to his younger brother Uttanpad and Uttanpad's son Dhruva Maharaj. Shukdev Goswami, towards the conclusion of Dhruv Maharaj's, towards the conclusion of the narration of Maharaj Dhruva or Dhruva Maharaj, he extols the character of Dhruva Maharaj, and he explains the glory of being able to hear about the qualities of Dhruva Maharaj. So Shukdev Goswami says, Shanta Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhuta Nuranjana Yantyanjasachyutapadam Achyuta Priyabandhavaha. Persons who are peaceful, equipoised, cleansed, and purified, and who know the art of pleasing other living entities, keep friendship only with the devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead. So, Shukdev Goswami is feeling very much enthusiastic to explain what is the way to achieve perfection in our journey, in our desire to go back to the spiritual world. If one can associate with and within our minds form a bond of friendship, or physically, if it is possible on the physical plane, then to become friends with the devotees of the Lord. So one way of being connected to friendship is a bond of closeness between two personalities, between two or more people that may be separated by age, time, or other kind of filial relationships, family relationships. So when they are separated by these distinctions, then friendship is a bond that brings two or more people closer. Bandhava. Bandhava, the word is bandhan. Bandhan, it comes from the root word bandha. Bandha means inseparable or bound together. More than inseparable, the meaning would be bound together. So one can be bound with a devotee of the Lord through friendship. So when we hear the narrations of great personalities, then there is a possibility of a bond being formed. And there's a possibility of a bond of friendship being there. Even though the personalities may be from a different time zone or a different time realm, still one can feel the strong bond of affection. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm not sure, but I think I could be. Am I still audible? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry. My phone got overheated. So therefore, I think I got disconnected for some time. Am I audible? Anangaranga Prabhu? Unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, we lost you for the last few minutes.
Yeah, there was a problem with my phone. It suddenly it got overheated. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
So I'll continue. A bond of friendship, I think that is where I got cut off. A bond of friendship can be formed when we feel inspired by personalities who are revealed in the scriptures. And these personalities, they express their, or these persons who are serving the Supreme Lord in the revealed scriptures, they exhibit the qualities of being peaceful, equipoised, very honest, and very, they have a pure motivation. So these are the qualities that they reveal. And since these qualities are very much pleasing to all living entities, we also feel very happy being connected to them, feeling some kind of a bond, feeling that there is a bond between us and them. So Shukdev Goswami hence further glorifies the characteristics of Dhruva Maharaj by saying that when Maitreya Muni was talking to Vidura, and he was explaining to Vidura how Dhruva Maharaj had gone to a great extent, to offer himself and offer all of his ambitions unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord after having darshan. And then he lived his entire life in service to the Supreme Lord. So he is asking Vidura that I hope you are satisfied after hearing what I've described about Dhruva. I've explained to you everything that I know in great detail, says Maitreya Muni. And since you were wanting to know from me about the yasha, the reputation, the greatness, and the character of Dhruva Maharaj, hence I described it all to you because it is a nature of great saintly personalities and devotees like yourself to hear about the character of great devotees like Dhruva Maharaj. So Maitreya Muni, through these words, is expressing how he is very happy to be a postman, bringing one's treasured gift, or bringing one's post from a dear friend, from a dear well-wisher to us, delivering that as a delivery boy or as a postman, as a postal peon, as Prabhupada would say. So what happens when great personalities, or is it just is the only benefit that great personalities get by hearing? Or let me put it this way. When great personalities who eagerly want to hear about the activities and the fame, the reputation, and the character of great devotees of the Lord like Dhruva Maharaj, then do great saintly personalities only get the pleasure of hearing about them, or is there something more? And what Maitreya Muni explains is very interesting. He says that by hearing the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, one can fulfill desires for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of life. So great personalities are eager to hear about the activities of devotional service being rendered by others throughout time. As it serves as an inspiration, it also helps them satisfy the desire to hear topics about Krishna. However, great personalities are always very selfless too. And when there is this flow of information, there is this Krishna Katha going on, specifically describing the characters of great devotees, then it is beneficial to all classes of people. All classes of people. And hence great saintly personalities, for their own nourishment or for their own satisfaction, pleasure, they eagerly hear such narrations, and also being very selfless, they are very confident that wherever an opportunity for such narration is there, any living entity that hears such narrations will be inspired to follow in the path of great personalities like Dhruva, because it helps them fulfill their desires of wealth, fulfill their desires of having a good reputation, and it also gives them a long duration of life. So it is all auspicious. These activities, these pastimes are so auspicious. Maitreya Muni says that these activities, these descriptions in the revealed scriptures are so auspicious that one can go to a heavenly planet or even Dhruva Loka, the very Loka which Dhruva Maharaj attained after such severe austerities. One can attain Dhruva Loka or go to heavenly planets just by hearing about Dhruva Maharaj. Because through such hearing, the inspiration to achieve higher goals flowers within our consciousness. Just as when Dhruva Maharaj went out to seek Lord Narayan, there were certain ambitions within his heart. Very, very, let's say, his ambitions were such that it was very rare souls that could have such ambitions in life. It was unheard of. And finally, we see that although he's unaware, Dhruva is unaware, the child Dhruva is unaware that there is another aspiration which is kind of hidden It is kind of not being seen by him. That aspiration is realized by Dhruva Maharaj when he sees Lord Vishnu. And in Hari Bhakti Shuddhadaya, it is written that how on seeing Lord Vishnu, he gives up, he realizes that his material ambitions were like pieces of glass, broken glass, that too. Because the wonderful form of Lord Vishnu that he could see with all of his senses, that he could connect with all of his senses. He could see the form of Vishnu. He could smell the beautiful aroma of the presence of Lord Vishnu. He was touched by the conch of Lord Vishnu. So all of his senses were alive. And the aspiration towards which he was not as yet awakened to, that aspiration blossomed within his heart. And what was that aspiration? To serve Lord Vishnu, ahetuki seva, unmotivated service to Lord Narayan. So similarly, anybody who hears the yathartha narration, the narration of Dhruva's pastimes as it has been revealed by great personalities, great teachers, great acharyas, the aspiration to achieve very, very high ambitions in life, the highest being, to go back home, back to Godhead, would blossom within the heart. Maitreya Muni says that such narrations are so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful reactions. They are so powerful. So, further, another Shruti Fal, the benefit of hearing the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj is explained by Maitreya Rishi to Vidura. He says, anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character, attains the pure devotional platform and executes pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material life. So having said that, we'll come back to the Ramayana. As I said, this is the Ashwin Shukla Paksh. The commentators of the Ramayana state that before the appearance of Lord Ram, somewhere at some time prior to the appearance of Lord Ram in Treta Yuga or much before that, a king had come along with his retinue, his wives, the queens, servants, ministers, to take the benefit of the Magha Mela. The Magha Mela is a festival that is organized every year on the banks of the confluence of the rivers Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. This confluence is called Prayagraj. So the king had come. The king was very pious, and he had come with his retinue, with his queens and his servants and his ministers, to take his holy bath for an entire month in the holy confluence, and also to immerse himself, to bathe in the confluence of Krishna Katha that would emanate through the mouth, to the wonderful lotus mouths of so many saintly personalities. And it was a very, very transformative experience for the king. That is what the king had come for. However, the queen was very much moved, especially his chief queen. She was so transformed that she wanted to stay back in Prayagraj and serve all of these saintly personalities for the rest of her life. She put forth her desire to the king, and the king was very encouraging. At the same time, the king made her realize that she also had certain responsibilities as a queen, especially the chief queen. So, as the chief queen, because of security reasons and because of tradition and so many responsibilities, traditional responsibilities, social responsibilities, it would not be easy for her, or it would not be considered uh, uh, acceptable if she would, as a queen, go and serve all the saintly personalities in a menial way. So the king tried to explain to her about her worldly responsibilities. And the queen understood that this was a dilemma. However, her heart was so much attracted to serving the renounced saints that feeling herself cornered by all these worldly responsibilities and not finding a way out. One night, she moved out of her tent and she entered the confluence, and she prayed to Mother Ganga, and she said, in our tradition, in our philosophy, giving up one's life uh, is considered to be unhealthy, is considered to be unacceptable. However, what is the use of living such a life if I'm not able to serve these the great saints, the acharyas? So kindly forgive me for taking this step. However, I would like to offer my life air unto you. Saying this, she took Jala Samadhi. She gave up her life in the waters of the Ganga. Since she had given up her life with this desire, aspiration that she wanted to serve great saintly personalities without all these restrictions, in her next birth, she was born uh, in a tribal community. And in those days, when we say tribal communities, what we mean is that certain tribes that stay away from the cities, and they follow the very basic norms of human existence. So such tribes are also called as Shabaras. In the Ramayana, this lady, who was in her previous life a queen, was born in a Shabara family, is known as Shabari. Many people think that Shabari is her name. Actually, her name is not revealed. Just what community she belongs to is revealed. Now, typically, these communities have habits which make them not very much inclined towards strict practices of the Vedic rites and rituals, which basically means that they do not have the inclination to become qualified to perform rites and rituals of purification, to become Dvija, twice born. It's just the community outlook that is there. However, there have been people from such communities who have become Dvija or twice born. So growing up, she was having this memory of her previous existence, and there was she did not remember that she was a queen, but the memory stayed in the form of her being disinclined towards any form of enjoyment in the material world. She would constantly be attracted towards a renounced way of life. Sometimes she would look at flowers and she would wonder that a flower is speaking to her, saying that right now I'm in my fullness, I'm blossoming fully, and very soon I'm going to wither away and die. So, what is the use of an existence that gives you a momentary expression of completeness and then you lose it to die? This little girl would be meditating on such thoughts. She would, Shabara tribal community, so they subsist on natural products very much. So it was easy for them to feel connected to nature, and it was kind of easy for them to try and imagine or accept that they could understand the conversation that was happening amongst the various species in nature. Like, what does one animal speak to another animal, or what does a tree speak to another tree? Tribal communities generally, they kind of exhibit such behavior. So she would sometimes look at a tree and feel as if the leaf is talking to the tree. The leaf that is there on one of the branches is telling the tree, talking to the tree and saying that right now today we are so close to each other. I am connected to you. Very soon I will be lost. I will go away. Why does this happen? And the tree says to the leaf, this is the nature of this world that we live in. That today that which is connected is separated, gets separated from. Today that which is connected gets separated tomorrow. That which is there today goes away tomorrow. So these were the kind of meditations that she would have. Seeing her being so inclined towards renunciation and disinclined towards material enjoyment, her parents became concerned. So in those times, when parents become concerned with premature, what they would consider premature renunciation, they would immediately think of marrying off the child. So they got her married off in her teens, or they arranged for a marriage in her teens. Now, being the Shabara community, during marriages, as a part of the festivities, they would feed their guests flesh of birds or beasts. So the hunters had gone out, and she was the daughter of the chieftain. So they had got, the hunters had brought so many live birds, fowls, and animals, and they had kept all of them in the storeroom. And she could hear these animals crying out from the storeroom. So she asked her mother, why are all of them? I've never seen so many animals and birds being collected in our storeroom. What is happening? So mother said, oh, we are getting you married, and all of them, we are going to cook all of them and feed them to the guests that come to the wedding. And when the little girl heard this, she had a panic attack. She felt such anxiety that she immediately ran away from home. And on the way, she opened the door to the storeroom and let all the animals and birds escape. And as the birds and animals were escaping, they blessed her. They said that just as you have given us liberation from this bondage, similarly, we pray that you get liberation too. The girl just ran off. Oh, I lost you again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Anand Gauranga Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I'm so sorry. I got My phone again gave up on me, so I'm connecting to another phone. Is that all right? Okay, I need to just increase the volume here. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So she did that. She opened up the storehouse and she ran away. And she was never found again. She went far, far away and she started living in the forest, being attracted to this renounced way of life. She, as a little girl, she found the ashrams of great sages. However, she could also understand that in society there is discrimination. She had seen that happen. So she was a little afraid of approaching the ashram people. However, finding no other way, not knowing what else to do, she sat down in a solitary place and started crying. In her own way, she was crying out to the Lord, to the Supreme Lord, that please, please, please show me the way. And within her heart, she heard a voice. The voice said, serve these saintly personalities. And then the voice vanished. That was the end of the sound that she was hearing. So she began wondering. She asked back, how can I serve them? They may not accept me. I don't see that there is any other women there. So will they accept a girl as a part of their ashram? And I'm from the Shabara community. I'm a Shabari. Will they really accept me? She had all these doubts. There was no answer back. So she realized that she has to give up her misgivings and simply focus on how she could serve. So what she would do is at night, when the entire ashram was asleep, or when others were in deep meditation, she would come into the ashram and she would clean up the ashram. And then she would see what else she could do to serve. She had noticed then that they would use water a lot for purification, for their for their activities. So she would fill up the pots with fresh water. She would clean up the achman patras and she would fill up with fresh water. And she would get flowers, night flowers that would bloom in the forest, and she would keep them in the ashram premises so that the entire ashram would be filled with fragrance. This was happening for quite a few days. And then they put out, in the night, the ashram inmates put out watchmen. They decided to take turns to find out who's doing this. And that night they found that a little girl who's practically just 13, 14 years old or 12 years old, she has come bringing all the samidha, the firewood needed for sacrifices, and she's filling up water. They came up to her and they asked, who are you? So the girl became scared and she wanted to run away. She couldn't speak. She was really very fearful. And they asked her, did you do this, all of this? Are you the one who's been doing this single-handedly? And she said, yes. So they were concerned. So they said that we should bring this matter to our leader, the leader of this ashram, the Mahanta. So they brought her before the senior most person of the ashram. His name was Matanga Muni. And Matanga Muni, he asked her, did you do this? She said, yes. And Matanga Muni could immediately see the spark of this devotion within her. He said, all right, you can stay in my ashram. and I am your daughter. Sorry, you are my daughter. Yes, Anangan Prabhu, you have to stop. Oh, is there? Okay. Maybe I'll use the headphones. This will be better. Is this okay? Sorry. So he welcomed her. She asked him a question. Won't you be ostracized? Won't others criticize you? And Matanga Muni said, my name is Matanga. One of the understandings of Matanga is an elephant. An elephant goes about doing its business, not caring for or not being disturbed by dogs that bark. So Matanga Rishi convinced her that it is all right. Since she had this proven that she could be a good member of the ashram, he welcomed her into the ashram. And she started serving in the ashram. Slowly, she started just by hearing the other inmates and hearing Matanga Rishi speak, she started memorizing the scriptures, learning the scriptures. However, Matanga Rishi was already at a very advanced age. So while she was still in her teens, Matanga Rishi was leaving his body. So everyone was concerned, and they came up to Matanga Rishi seeking final instructions. She came up to him and she asked him, what is happening? And he says, child, I am leaving forever. She said, where are you going? He said, I am going back to the lotus feet of the Lord. So she asked him, he said, I'm never coming back from there. Having attained the lotus feet of the Lord, one does not return back. So she asked him then, can you take me also? He said, your time will come. What will I do till if you leave? You are with me, and therefore you are my guide, you are my teacher. What will I do? What should I do now when you leave? He said that you should serve as you are serving right now, so that you can also see the Supreme Lord, or you can also attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So she said, to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, should I go to the Lord? And Matanga Rishi said, you don't need to go to the Lord. The Lord will come unto you. And saying this, he departed. When she heard that, she was overwhelmed. However, the next day, after Matanga Rishi had departed and they had performed all the ceremonies, she wondered. He said, the Lord will come to me. When? Now she couldn't ask him when. So she felt that he was saying that the Lord would come the next day. So right from the next day, every single day, she would prepare the ashram, she would collect food for the Lord to offer to the Lord, she would keep fresh water to offer unto him, she would make arrangements for serving the Lord if he were to come. Every single day she waited for the Lord. And in the Ramayana, in Valmiki Ramayana, we know that the Lord arrived to that ashram, Matanga Muni's ashram, when Shabari was in her old age. In the Padma Puran, it is said that she waited for the Lord 10,000 years. And finally, when the Lord did come, he gave her his blessings. We have to stop here because of certain considerations. However, some lessons from here, at the beginning, when we are talking about character, we said that doing that which we can, the character is that which makes us do the right thing at the right time, and it also makes us to do the right thing when there are difficult times. Hence, rightly it is said that character is doing the right thing when nobody is looking. And we can see that in the personality of Matanga Muni, we can see Shabari's quality, and we can see even Lord Ram's quality. He came That is his character. Now we know that Lord Ram came to Shabari's ashram and it is glorified. At that time, when the Rishi Munis, when they saw Lord Ram come, they welcomed him. And when Shabari saw him, she wanted to run up to the Lord and offer obeisances. But then she felt that if I do that, I am from the tribal community. I'm an untouchable. I'm a sinful person. How can I be qualified to go up to the Lord? However, if I'm not qualified to go and touch his lotus feet, at least I can capture him within my heart. And she was glancing lovingly at the Lord, and to capture him within her heart, she closed her eyes. Because she did not want to she did not trust herself in being able to hold the Lord. She closed her eyes so that that vision may not go away. And the Lord approached her, and he addressed her as a mother. And when she heard the Lord's voice, she opened her eyes. And when she opened her eyes, she realized every single day for thousands of years, I was waiting to serve the Lord. And here he is right in front of me. And I'm so stupid that I don't even have water to wash his feet. And she had tears in her eyes that how did this happen? And those tears fell down her cheeks unto the lotus feet of the Lord and washed his feet. Those tears that washed the feet of the Lord were as pure as the waters of the river Ganga. And when she saw those tears falling on the lotus feet of the Lord, she immediately felt that, oh, what have I done? She wanted to, her immediate reaction was that she wanted to clean the lotus feet of the Lord, wipe off those tears. And having nothing else, she wiped off those tears. She had only one piece of cloth. So as she was trying to wipe off those tears, or she was trying to clean the feet of the Lord, her hair, she's a mendicant, so she had long hair. Her hair fell down on both sides of her face onto the feet of the Lord, and along with her hands, her hair also dried up the feet of the Lord. The Supreme Lord, he accepted that service as eagerly or as benevolently as he would receive the service of any of his servants in Ayodhya. So this is the character of great personalities that inspire us. It inspires us to be patient, inspires us to be persistent, inspires us to accept the truth and believe in it, inspires us to be compassionate, inspires us to be in the service mode day in and day out, and always being eager to not just remember the Lord, but eager to also serve the Lord in remembrance. And when such characters or such characteristics are displayed in this world, it creates auspiciousness in the world. We are eternally grateful to the great poet Valmiki ji for giving us the Ramayana. We are eternally grateful to Shukdev Goswami, who described the wonderful qualities of Lord Ramachandra in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are grateful to so many great acharyas that have commented, and they have given their realizations on these wonderful personalities. And we seek inspiration from these great personalities in our own journey to be successful in rendering unmotivated devotional service to the Supreme Lord of our heart, to the Supreme Lordships, Shri Radha and Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.